In today's world, we make thousands of decisions every day, many of which shape our lives without us even realizing it. But what if we could navigate these choices with more clarity and purpose? Enter Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to focus on what truly matters, stay grounded amidst life's chaos, and make conscious decisions that align with our values. Whether you're facing stress, seeking personal growth, or simply looking for a more balanced approach to life, Stoicism offers timeless wisdom that can transform the way you live. Stick around as we explore how this powerful philosophy can help you take control of your decisions and shape your future. Embrace single-minded focus. Imagine walking through a forest on a foggy morning, where each step seems to dissolve into the mist. You feel disoriented, yet your eyes are fixed on a distant goal, perhaps a clearing or a specific tree. The fog could be a metaphor for the noise and distractions in modern life, all vying for your attention. Yet, the Stoic wisdom of single-minded focus is like a guiding beacon that slices through that fog, sharpening your vision and illuminating the path. This practice is about cutting through the endless distractions that plague our minds, anchoring our attention so deeply on one task that everything else falls away. In a world where multitasking is often celebrated, Stoicism asks us to do the opposite. Focus all your energy on one thing, and do it well. It's not about being busy, it's about being present with purpose and precision. Single-minded focus allows you to engage with your work, your relationships, and even your personal growth in a way that is truly transformative. When you stop splitting your energy between multiple competing demands, you tap into the power of deep work, the kind of focus that leads to mastery and meaning. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus wrote about how external distractions, like the opinions of others or the pursuit of fame, lead us away from our true goals. By embracing focus, we return to our core, our values, our principles, and the work that truly matters. It's the practice of going deeper into the world you're creating, not jumping from one shallow pool to the next. Imagine the power of being fully immersed in the task at hand, no matter how small. Whether it's writing a single sentence, forging a meaningful connection with someone, or mastering a skill, single-minded focus allows you to truly live in that moment, rather than skimming the surface of 1,000 distractions. In practical terms, this means eliminating distractions as much as possible. Turn off notifications, create a dedicated space for your work, and most importantly, decide on a goal that is worthy of your full attention. Then, cultivate the discipline to keep returning to that goal, despite the constant pull of the outside world. Single-minded focus doesn't just enhance productivity, it brings a sense of calm and clarity that's rare in today's world. It's about aligning yourself so fully with your purpose that the journey itself becomes an act of joy, not merely the pursuit of an end result. By embracing this kind of focused discipline, you not only transform the task at hand but also cultivate the kind of inner peace that comes with knowing you've truly given your best effort to the things that matter most. Find your philosophical anchor. In a world that feels increasingly unstable, where the tides of life shift unpredictably and the winds of external pressure blow relentlessly, having a philosophical anchor is like having a sturdy, unshakable foundation beneath your feet. Imagine being in the middle of a vast ocean, waves crashing around you, the sky dark and uncertain. Then, you discover a solid anchor, a grounding philosophy, that allows you to stay rooted, no matter how tumultuous the sea of life becomes. A philosophical anchor is not just a set of abstract ideas. It's a deeply ingrained belief system, a guiding framework that shapes your decisions, your reactions, and your purpose. For the Stoics, this anchor comes in the form of their core virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These principles don't just serve as intellectual ideals but act as the compass for navigating life's chaos. Why is it so powerful? Life is a whirlwind of events, successes, failures, joys, and sorrows, all of which can pull us in different directions. Without a firm anchor, we might find ourselves tossed about by the winds of fortune, at the mercy of external circumstances, or swayed by the opinions of others. A philosophy you can live by, however, cuts through that uncertainty. It gives you clarity when the path ahead seems unclear, and peace when external chaos threatens your inner tranquility. For the Stoic, the anchor lies in their understanding of what is truly within their control: their thoughts, their actions, and their responses to the world. Everything else, external events, other people's behavior, even success or failure, are not within their grasp. By internalizing this philosophy, the Stoic frees themselves from the emotional turbulence of life's highs and lows, grounded firmly in the belief that their virtue is their most valuable possession. Finding your own philosophical anchor begins by identifying what resonates most deeply with you, what beliefs and principles align with your true values. This might be Stoicism, as it is for some, or it could be other schools of thought like Buddhism, existentialism, or even a more personal, blended philosophy. The key is to adopt a philosophy that brings clarity and purpose to your life, one that you can return to when everything else feels chaotic. Once you've identified your anchor, it becomes a touchstone, a constant source of wisdom to turn to when faced with difficult choices or uncertain circumstances. It's like a map you carry in your back pocket, reminding you of where you're going, even when the road is foggy or unclear. It empowers you to act with conviction, knowing that the actions you take are aligned with something larger than the immediate circumstances. In practical terms, this means consistently reflecting on your anchor, returning to it in moments of doubt or confusion. It means letting that philosophy shape your day-to-day actions, so that no matter what challenges arise, you have a lens through which to view them, an internal guide that allows you to stay centered. Imagine having that kind of clarity in your life, not reacting impulsively to life's chaos, but calmly and decisively navigating it according to a deeply rooted set of values. With your philosophical anchor in place, you transform the storm of life into an opportunity for growth and steadfastness. The world may be ever-changing, but your anchor remains solid, allowing you to face whatever comes with resilience, wisdom, and grace. Double your efforts. Picture a mountain climber, inching their way up a steep and treacherous cliff. The wind howls, the path narrows, and fatigue begins to set in. The summit feels distant, almost unreachable. But in that moment, the climber does something unexpected. They don't hesitate, they don't retreat, they double their efforts. With every ounce of energy, every determined movement, they push forward, summoning their strength and focus to take one more step. And then one more after that. This is the essence of the Stoic principle of doubling your efforts in the face of adversity, a practice not just of resilience, but of unshakable determination. When challenges arise, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, the Stoic doesn't cower or shrink. They meet the challenge with even greater resolve, understanding that the moment of struggle is the precise moment to harness and amplify their energy. It's a counterintuitive truth. When things get tough, that's when you have the potential to grow the most, if you have the courage to intensify your efforts. Why is doubling your efforts so powerful? It's rooted in the idea that we are often capable of far more than we think. In moments of hardship, it's easy to succumb to the weight of difficulty, to think that we've already given all we have. But Stoicism teaches us that this is rarely the case. Our minds, our bodies, and our spirits often have more to give. The difference between merely enduring hardship and overcoming it is the willingness to give more, to dig deeper into our inner reserves and find strength that we didn't know existed. When you double your efforts, you don't just push harder, you become a force of nature, unstoppable and relentless in your pursuit. It's not about brute force or mindless striving, but about aligning your efforts with purpose and conviction. It's about sharpening your focus, eliminating distractions, and channeling your energy toward the goal with unwavering commitment. This principle doesn't just apply to physical tasks. Think about challenges in your personal or professional life. Perhaps a project that's taking longer than expected, or a relationship that requires more patience and understanding. In those moments, doubling your efforts means going beyond what you think is your limit, choosing to persist with greater intention and clarity. It's about practicing the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, and discipline in real time, pushing through barriers with a mind that remains calm, rational, and resolute. What makes this practice so transformative is that, by doubling your efforts, you often exceed the limitations you've placed on yourself. You reach new heights, not just in terms of external success, but in personal growth. Each time you rise to the occasion, each time you push past your perceived boundaries, you become a stronger, wiser version of yourself. But here's the catch. Doubling your efforts isn't about forcing yourself into a state of constant exhaustion. It's about knowing when to push, when to dig deeper, and when to recalibrate. The Stoics understood the importance of balance. It's about recognizing the difference between unnecessary struggle and purposeful exertion. By understanding your limits and doubling your efforts strategically, you harness an inner power that propels you toward greatness. So, the next time you're faced with a daunting challenge, instead of retreating or giving up, take a moment and ask yourself, how can I double my efforts? The answer lies in your ability to bring focus, discipline, and tenacity to the task at hand. It's about finding new reserves within yourself, an unshakable determination that pushes you forward, no matter how high the mountain may seem. Visualize the path. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a dense forest. Your destination is a distant mountain peak barely visible in the haze of the horizon. You know that the journey ahead will be long, filled with twists, turns, and uncertainties. Yet, there is something powerful you can do before taking that first step. You can visualize the path. To visualize the path is to engage your mind's eye in crafting a mental map of your journey, one that not only guides your steps but shapes your experience of the obstacles you'll face. It's like standing before a blank canvas, not with the intention of controlling every stroke, but of envisioning the landscape, the movement, and the color of your path. Stoicism teaches us that we should not just passively walk through life, reacting to what comes our way, but actively prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally for the road ahead. Why is visualization so transformative in the Stoic framework? It's not about wishing for a smooth, easy journey. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about mentally rehearsing the challenges, the discomfort, and the setbacks so you are emotionally ready for them. The Stoic understands that hardship is inevitable, but how we approach and react to it is within our control. By visualizing the path, you prepare not only for success but also for failure, loss, and disappointment, seeing them as part of the journey, not as detours. Think about an athlete preparing for a race or a musician practicing for a performance. They visualize every move, every decision, and every reaction in their mind long before they execute it physically. The Stoic approach to visualization is just as deliberate. It's not about being naive to the realities of life, but rather about mentally constructing a plan to navigate through them with grace and resolve. When you visualize the path, you're mentally rehearsing how to remain calm under pressure, how to maintain virtue in the face of provocation, and how to find opportunity in every challenge. Visualization isn't just about imagining the perfect outcome, it's about imagining yourself handling each inevitable obstacle with wisdom, patience, and courage. It's anticipating frustration and knowing how to handle it without succumbing to it. It's preparing for failure, not as a reason to quit, but as an opportunity to learn and grow. In doing so, you move forward with a quiet confidence because you have already mentally equipped yourself for whatever comes. What makes this process so powerful is that visualization prepares the mind to respond rationally and with equanimity. If you anticipate challenges, you're far less likely to be overwhelmed when they arrive. It's like preparing your emotional and mental muscles to carry the weight of adversity before you even have to lift it. You've already rehearsed the response. You've already seen yourself overcoming, adapting, and continuing on your journey, no matter how difficult it gets. Furthermore, visualization fuels motivation. By imagining the successful completion of your journey, the satisfaction, the growth, the strength, it stokes your desire to keep going, even when the forest feels dark and the peak seems unreachable. When you visualize the path, you're also reinforcing your commitment to the journey, ensuring that no setback can rob you of the bigger picture. In practical terms, begin by envisioning the major goals you've set in your life. What obstacles might you face along the way? Visualize these challenges with clarity. Then, see yourself navigating through them, remaining calm, focused, and virtuous. By doing this regularly, you create an unwavering mental blueprint for your journey. Your mind becomes trained to handle difficulty with poise, your responses become more measured, and your path forward, though uncertain, becomes clearer. So, when the road ahead seems unclear, when doubts arise or fear creeps in, remember to visualize the path. See the twists and turns, the struggles and triumphs, and most importantly, see yourself walking that path with wisdom and strength. The more you visualize it, the more prepared you'll be to face it. And with every step, you'll move closer to the summit, not just in body but in mind and spirit. Plan the day before it starts. Picture this: you wake up, and the world greets you with its endless possibilities. The day is blank, a fresh canvas that awaits your touch. But how often do we let that canvas remain untouched, letting the chaos of the day spill its colors in whatever direction it chooses? What if, instead, you could be the artist, shaping the day with intention and purpose before the first brushstroke is even made? This is the essence of the Stoic practice of planning the day before it starts. It's not about rigid control or micromanaging every minute. It's about setting a purposeful direction, aligning your actions with your values, and fortifying your resolve to face whatever comes with wisdom and focus. The Stoics understood that life is unpredictable, but how you approach it is in your hands. To plan the day before it starts is to equip yourself with a strategy for navigating the inevitable twists and turns, while maintaining your calm and purpose. Why is this so crucial? Imagine setting out on a journey with no map and no idea of the terrain ahead. You might stumble upon incredible things, but you'll also waste time, energy, and might miss opportunities for growth. In the same way, a day without intention can lead to wasted hours and scattered energy. By planning your day the night before, you're essentially creating your mental map, anticipating the obstacles and opportunities, and ensuring that you direct your efforts towards what truly matters. The Stoics taught that time is one of our most precious resources, and each moment is a gift. Planning ahead ensures that this gift is used wisely. But there's a deeper element to this practice. When you plan your day ahead, you're giving yourself the mental clarity to choose how to respond, rather than letting events push you into reaction mode. It's not about scheduling every minute, but rather about identifying your key priorities, clarifying your intentions, and preparing yourself emotionally and mentally to handle whatever life presents. How do you start? First, reflect on your long-term goals and values. What do you want to achieve, and how can today contribute to those bigger aspirations? Your Stoic plan is not just a to-do list, but a guide to make choices that reflect your deeper purpose. When you go to bed at night, write down the most important tasks of the next day. These should align with your values, your projects, or your personal growth. Don't overwhelm yourself with a long list of trivialities. Keep it focused, purposeful, and manageable. Next, anticipate the challenges of the day. What obstacles might arise that could throw you off course? Visualize these scenarios and mentally rehearse how you will respond to them with Stoic virtues, patience, wisdom, and calm. By planning your responses, you reduce the risk of being caught off guard or letting frustrations derail your progress. In addition, carve out moments in your day for reflection. The Stoics were keen on pausing throughout the day to review their thoughts and actions. By planning these intervals of self-check-in, you ensure that you stay aligned with your original intentions and adjust as needed. Finally, think about the end of the day. What will make it a successful day? The Stoics were not obsessed with perfection, but with progress. As the day unfolds, your plan will likely shift and evolve. This is where flexibility comes in. Be ready to adapt, but always return to your core purpose. When you end the day, reflect on what went well, what didn't, and how you can learn from both. Planning the day before it starts also frees you from the chaos of mental clutter. Instead of waking up to a flood of decisions, tasks, and worries, you've already laid the groundwork. Your day becomes less about reacting to external demands and more about acting in line with your deeper priorities. When you plan the day before it starts, you reclaim your time, your energy, and your purpose. You don't let life happen to you. You direct it. You respond to it. You shape it. And when tomorrow comes, you can step into it with confidence, clarity, and a steadfast commitment to your growth, one intentional step at a time. Cultivate an action bias. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the concept of control, understanding what lies within your power and focusing your energy on those aspects of life. Cultivating an action bias is a practical extension of this principle. It involves developing a predisposition toward taking deliberate action, rather than being passive or indecisive in the face of challenges. An action bias is not about acting recklessly or hastily. It is about prioritizing action in the face of uncertainty or adversity, guided by a clear sense of purpose. In any situation, there is a tendency to overthink, hesitate, or dwell on potential outcomes. The Stoic approach encourages us to overcome this inertia by recognizing that action, however imperfect, often leads to more favorable outcomes than inaction. Why is this critical? In a world where challenges and uncertainties are inevitable, inaction often leads to missed opportunities, stagnation, or greater difficulties down the line. In contrast, taking action, even if it's a small step, provides momentum, clarity, and a sense of control. It aligns with the Stoic belief that we should focus on our efforts and not obsess over results, which are outside our control. Through action, we create the conditions for progress and learning. For instance, if faced with a difficult decision or task, an individual with an action bias will focus on moving forward with the best available option, rather than getting paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake or waiting for the perfect moment. By embracing the discomfort of uncertainty and pushing through it with calculated action, progress is made. To cultivate an action bias, one must first recognize the emotional and mental barriers that hinder action: fear of failure, perfectionism, or the tendency to overanalyze situations. These barriers often trap us in a cycle of thought without leading to meaningful results. Overcoming these obstacles requires a shift in mindset. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, or for all conditions to align, the Stoic approach encourages immediate action based on reasoned judgment and available information. Practical steps for cultivating an action bias include breaking tasks into manageable steps, making decisions quickly to avoid overthinking, and focusing on the process rather than the outcome. By doing so, you not only make tangible progress toward your goals but also develop resilience and confidence in your ability to handle future challenges. In the Stoic framework, this means understanding that external factors are largely beyond your control, but your actions, how you respond, adapt, and move forward, are entirely within your power. Cultivating an action bias ensures that you remain proactive in pursuing your goals, continually learning and growing, even amidst adversity. Stay in your own lane. In a world that constantly pressures us to compare ourselves to others, the Stoic principle of staying in your own lane offers a refreshing and empowering antidote. It's about focusing on your own path, aligning with your unique values, and measuring success by your own standards, not by the expectations or achievements of those around you. At its core, this principle is a call for clarity and intentionality in how we approach our lives. We often become distracted by the noise of external opinions, societal benchmarks, or the achievements of others. This can lead to self-doubt, envy, and even the temptation to chase after goals that aren't truly ours. 2. Stay in your own lane is to filter out the distractions, tune into your inner compass, and pour your energy into what truly matters to you. Why is this critical? The moment you start looking to the left and right, comparing your journey to someone else's, you lose sight of your own direction. Stoics understood that our energy is finite. When we divert our focus, we waste precious resources, time, mental clarity, and motivation on things beyond our control. It's easy to be sidetracked by the success of others, but remember, what works for one person is not necessarily what will work for you. Everyone has their own strengths, challenges, and paths to follow. Consider this: the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus often spoke about the importance of aligning with nature's laws, which includes focusing on what is in our control. When you stray from your lane, you inevitably start trying to control what lies outside of you, causing unnecessary stress and confusion. The path of a Stoic is one of inward focus, discipline, and self-awareness, knowing that true fulfillment comes from understanding and pursuing your own unique calling. Staying in your lane also frees you from the trap of envy. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you can cultivate gratitude for your own progress and achievements, no matter how small. It allows you to appreciate your own distinct journey, recognizing that the process is as meaningful as the destination. On a practical level, staying in your lane means committing fully to your own goals, passions, and values. It's about choosing your focus and not allowing distractions, opinions, or societal pressures to pull you off course. If you see someone else succeeding, celebrate their achievements. But remember, their success is their own, and it does not diminish yours. Your path is yours alone, and it is where you can make your greatest impact. Ultimately, by staying in your own lane, you regain a sense of autonomy and purpose. You stop measuring yourself against arbitrary standards and instead focus on making incremental progress toward your own vision. This mindset frees you from external validation and deepens your sense of inner peace, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with clarity and resilience. In the end, the Stoic life is not about being the best among others, but about being the best version of yourself. Stay in your lane, and the rest will follow. Focus on what you can control. In a world teeming with unpredictability and external chaos, the Stoic wisdom of focusing on what you can control becomes a guiding light, a shield against the turbulence of life. This principle is both a powerful philosophy and a practical strategy for achieving peace of mind and personal power. Think about it. Every day, we are bombarded with countless events, opinions, and circumstances that are completely beyond our control. The weather, the actions of others, the economy, these things fluctuate unpredictably, and no matter how much we worry, we cannot bend them to our will. Yet, it's all too easy to spend precious time and energy ruminating over these uncontrollable aspects. We find ourselves angry at a slow driver, stressed over world events, or anxious about what others think of us. But the Stoic mindset invites us to break free from this cycle. Instead, focus on what you can actually influence, the core of your actions, thoughts, and responses. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it simply: we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. This is the essence of empowerment. When you realize that your true power lies not in controlling the world around you, but in controlling how you engage with it, you reclaim a profound sense of freedom. The Stoics also taught us the importance of distinguishing between what is in our power and what is not. This distinction is liberating. It means letting go of the burden of trying to change things that are inherently out of your grasp. It's like trying to control the tides. You can't, but you can learn to sail with them, adjusting your course as needed. So rather than wasting mental energy on frustrations with the uncontrollable, you redirect your focus to what you can shape: your attitude, your actions, your decisions. Take, for example, the stress of a public speaking engagement. You can't control how the audience will respond, or whether unforeseen technical issues will arise, but you can control your preparation, your mindset, and your delivery. Similarly, you may not have the power to prevent someone from being rude or dismissive, but you can control your response, choosing to remain composed or calmly assertive. Focusing on what you can control doesn't just reduce stress, it also boosts your sense of agency and confidence. By channeling your energy toward actions within your sphere of influence, you develop a deeper sense of mastery over your life. And as you consistently focus on what you can control, you begin to realize that your success is no longer dependent on external factors, but on your own resilience and character. Moreover, this principle fosters a mindset of resilience. When things go awry, instead of feeling helpless, you ask, what can I do in this moment? What steps can I take, no matter how small, to influence the outcome? This keeps you moving forward, even when things seem uncertain, and prevents you from becoming overwhelmed by the magnitude of challenges outside your control. The beauty of focusing on what you can control is that it brings you back to the present moment, empowering you to act with intention, without being paralyzed by the fear of outcomes. It is an invitation to invest in your growth, to face challenges with calm resolve, and to cultivate a deep sense of peace and purpose, even in the most chaotic times. In the end, life will throw obstacles your way. The question isn't how you'll bend the world to your will, but how you'll rise to meet what's within your power to influence. By focusing on what you can control, you not only live more effectively, but you unlock the secret to true peace and resilience. Let go of attachment to outcomes. Imagine you're on a journey, and your destination is just over the horizon. You've carefully planned your route, packed your bags, and have all your energy directed towards reaching your goal. But then, a storm hits. The wind's howling, the rain pouring. It's clear that the conditions are now beyond your control. In that moment, the Stoic approach to life calls for a shift in perspective. Don't be attached to the destination. Embrace the journey itself. This is the essence of letting go of attachment to outcomes, a profound principle that challenges us to release our tight grip on results and instead focus on the process. Stoicism teaches that while you can control the effort you put in, the path you take, and the virtue you demonstrate, the outcome itself is often out of your hands. And by constantly tying your sense of worth or peace to specific results, you open yourself up to frustration, anxiety, and disappointment. Why? Because outcomes are unpredictable. You might pour your heart into a project, work tirelessly, and do everything in your power to ensure success. But the external factors, the economy, the decisions of others, the whims of chance, are often beyond your control. If you attach your happiness to achieving a particular result, you may find yourself adrift in a sea of unfulfilled expectations when things don't go as planned. The Stoics understood this all too well. Epictetus, in his discourses, explains that we should view the outcome of our actions as something externally indifferent, meaning that the final result is neither inherently good nor bad. It's simply the byproduct of our efforts. What matters most is the virtue and character you cultivate in the process. Whether you succeed or fail in achieving a specific goal, if you've acted with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, you've already won the true battle. Take, for instance, a professional endeavor. Let's say you're aiming for a promotion or recognition. You work hard, learn new skills, and invest time and energy into the project. But when the promotion goes to someone else, or recognition doesn't come, it's easy to feel defeated. However, if you detach from the expectation of a specific outcome and instead focus on the virtues you demonstrated during your work, integrity, diligence, and learning, then you maintain your peace of mind. You've succeeded in becoming a better version of yourself, regardless of external recognition. This principle also frees you from the tyranny of perfectionism. When you are detached from outcomes, you release the need to make everything perfect, allowing yourself to take imperfect actions, make mistakes, and learn from them without fear of judgment. You begin to see failure not as a personal defeat, but as an opportunity for growth and learning. Moreover, letting go of attachment to outcomes shifts the focus from external validation to intrinsic fulfillment. Instead of deriving your worth from what you achieve, you find contentment in the act of doing itself, the journey rather than the destination. This makes you far more resilient, for you no longer see challenges as obstacles, but as moments for practice and development. You can weather setbacks with equanimity, knowing that the value of your effort is independent of the outcome. The paradox here is that, by letting go of your attachment to specific outcomes, you actually increase your chances of success. When you are focused solely on the process, not distracted by the weight of expectations, you're more likely to show up fully, take thoughtful risks, and perform at your best. Without the fear of failure hanging over you, you give yourself permission to fully engage with each moment, making your actions more deliberate and effective. To truly embrace this practice, consider taking a step back and evaluating the outcomes in your life you've become overly attached to. Ask yourself, what happens if this doesn't go as planned? Will I still be okay? Realize that whether or not you achieve a particular result, you are still moving forward, learning, and becoming stronger. And in that realization, you discover the deepest form of freedom, the freedom from expectation, the freedom to live fully in the present, and the freedom to embrace life as it unfolds, knowing that your worth is never dependent on any single outcome. Be mindful of comparing yourself to others. In the vast, swirling sea of human existence, it's easy to get caught up in the currents of comparison. You scroll through social media, watch the accomplishments of your peers, and measure your own progress against theirs. It's tempting to judge your worth based on how you stack up to others, whether it's their career achievements, relationships, or lifestyle. But herein lies a subtle trap, a trap that the Stoics warn against, and which can silently sabotage your sense of peace and purpose. Imagine standing in a forest, surrounded by towering trees. Each tree is uniquely shaped, with its own pattern of growth, branches, and leaves. Some are taller, some are shorter, some more twisted, others more straight. Yet if a single tree were to spend its time comparing itself to the others, it would lose sight of its own nature and purpose. It might pine away, wishing to be taller, to have broader branches, or to stand in a different spot of the forest, forever dissatisfied with its own existence. The same is true for us. When we compare ourselves to others, we lose sight of our own unique journey and value. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, warned that comparing yourself to others is an exercise in futility. He famously said, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee." In other words, when you attempt to measure your life against someone else's, you're ignoring your own path, your unique circumstances, and your inherent worth. Each individual has a different set of experiences, challenges, and gifts. What works for one person may not be applicable or possible for another, and measuring yourself by other standards is like trying to follow someone else's map in a landscape you've never walked. So, why is this comparison so dangerous? First, it breeds envy and dissatisfaction. When you measure your success against someone else's, you are often left with feelings of inadequacy. You see their seemingly perfect life, be it their career, their family, or their material possessions, and you begin to feel as if you are falling short. This envy doesn't motivate, it paralyzes you, turning joy into jealousy and self-worth into insecurity. What's more, you lose sight of your own unique strengths and virtues. You forget that your worth isn't contingent on being better than someone else but on fully expressing your own potential. Second, comparison fosters a false sense of competition. The world is not a zero-sum game where someone else's success diminishes your own. In fact, there's an abundance of opportunities and paths for growth, meaning someone else's achievements don't take anything away from yours. When you cease comparing yourself to others, you free yourself from this destructive rivalry and embrace a mindset of collaboration and mutual support. You can celebrate others' victories without diminishing your own. The Stoics would have you focus on what's within your control. Instead of obsessing over what others are doing, they encourage you to concentrate on your own actions, your own growth, and your own values. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminded himself that the only valid measure of success is whether or not he has fulfilled his role in the grand scheme of life, whether he's living in alignment with virtue and reason. When you shift your focus inward and define success by your own principles, you stop getting distracted by the fleeting accomplishments of others. Moreover, comparing yourself to others often ignores the complexity of the external circumstances they face. The person who seems to have it all might be struggling privately, or they may have advantages you're unaware of, an easier upbringing, greater resources, or different opportunities. You cannot truly know what's going on beneath the surface, and judging your own worth by these external markers is inherently unfair to yourself. Instead, take a page from the Stoic playbook and shift the narrative. The real question isn't, how do I measure up to them? But am I being the best version of myself? This involves focusing on your own progress, growth, and inner peace, not on an external benchmark. Reflect daily on your actions. Are you living with virtue? Are you making progress toward your personal goals? If the answer is yes, then you've succeeded in a far deeper way than simply reaching the same outcome as someone else. This doesn't mean you should become indifferent to others or avoid learning from their experiences. In fact, the Stoics often emphasized learning from others, be it through mentorship, observation, or reading. But the key is to draw inspiration, not comparison. Let others' achievements fuel your ambition, not diminish your confidence. Recognize that the path they walk is theirs, and the path you walk is uniquely yours. Ultimately, the antidote to the poison of comparison is to cultivate gratitude and self-awareness. Appreciate where you are, what you've accomplished, and the unique qualities you bring to the world. When you focus on your own journey, you allow yourself to be fully present and free from the distractions of how others are navigating their own. This is the power of self-contentment, the knowledge that you are enough, not because you surpass others, but because you are fully immersed in your own growth, free from the shadows of comparison. Commit fully to your projects. Imagine setting sail on a vast, unpredictable ocean. The destination is clear, but the waters are rough, the winds uncertain, and the sky can change at any moment. Some sailors, when the journey gets tough, will abandon their course, drop anchor, and turn back. Others, however, push through the tempests, trusting in their resolve, their skill, and their commitment to the voyage. This is the essence of what it means to commit fully to your projects, to give yourself over completely to the task at hand, no matter how treacherous the waters may seem. In life, projects are our ships, each one carrying our dreams, ambitions, and efforts forward. When you start something, whether it's writing a book, building a business, or learning a new skill, it can be easy to feel the initial spark of enthusiasm. But as the journey progresses, doubts creep in. The challenges mount. Obstacles arise. The excitement begins to wane, and you find yourself tempted to abandon the course, seeking comfort elsewhere. This is where the true test of commitment lies. To commit fully is not to begin a project and hope it works out, but to stake everything on it, and continue even when the path becomes difficult or uncertain. The Stoics understood this principle deeply. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, constantly reminded himself that the key to living a virtuous life was not in half-hearted attempts, but in wholehearted commitment to whatever task lay before him. He would often reflect on the notion that it is not our circumstances that define us, but our responses to them. A person who commits fully to a project, regardless of the hurdles, becomes the master of their own destiny, exercising control over their will, their choices, and their character. The Stoics would say that you are not what you start, you are what you finish, and the commitment to finishing defines your character. But why is committing fully so powerful? First, it forces you to engage with the project on a deeper level. When you truly commit, you no longer view the work as a series of isolated tasks but as part of a larger journey. Every challenge, every setback, becomes an opportunity for growth and learning. You stop treating obstacles as roadblocks and begin to see them as the very stuff of progress. This perspective shifts your entire approach. Instead of being a passive participant waiting for things to unfold, you become an active force, shaping and refining the outcome with every step. Moreover, commitment is the key to mastery. Anything worth doing requires time, energy, and persistence, qualities that are impossible to cultivate if you approach things with a half-hearted or scattered focus. Mastery doesn't come from dabbling, it comes from deep, unwavering commitment to a craft. Think of the great artists, athletes, and thinkers of history. Did they succeed because they dabbled? No. They succeeded because they gave their full attention and energy to their work, day in and day out, relentlessly pursuing improvement. Each mistake became a lesson, each failure a necessary step toward eventual success. The act of committing fully ensures you're investing in the process, not just the outcome, and it's in this process that mastery is born. But commitment is not a blind, unquestioning submission to a task. It's an intentional, conscious choice to engage with your projects fully, knowing that the journey will demand sacrifice, effort, and time. It's about aligning your internal resources with your external actions. When you commit, you are saying, "I will see this through, no matter what." You acknowledge that the world will throw challenges your way, but you are undeterred in your dedication to the path you've chosen. It's a declaration of resilience, the kind of resilience that fuels breakthroughs and creates something of lasting value. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of indifference to external outcomes. This doesn't mean that you abandon your goals or stop caring about success. Rather, it's about not being attached to the outcome. Commit to the project with all your heart, but don't be overly attached to whether or not it unfolds exactly as you imagine. What matters is that you remain fully invested in the process, that you pour your heart into every action, regardless of the end result. In this way, commitment becomes its own reward. When you commit fully to a project, you also cultivate a mindset of resilience and patience. There will inevitably be moments of doubt, when it seems easier to give up or to choose something else. But commitment requires you to stand firm, to keep pressing forward even when the wind isn't at your back. It's in these moments, when you're faced with the temptation to quit, that you find your true strength. It's easy to commit when things are going well. The real test is how deeply you are committed when the going gets tough. In the end, the act of committing fully to your projects isn't just about completing tasks or achieving goals, it's about transforming yourself. The deeper the commitment, the more it shapes who you are. You learn to cultivate patience, develop discipline, and become someone who rises to challenges rather than shrinking from them. When you commit, you are not just working toward a goal, you are molding yourself into the kind of person who perseveres, who brings projects to completion, who grows through adversity. So, the next time you set sail on a new endeavor, remember this: The true measure of success lies not in how you start but in how you commit. With full, unwavering dedication, you unlock the power to transform challenges into triumphs, and yourself into someone capable of remarkable things. Purge distractions. Picture this. You're working on something important, but all around you, distractions are pulling at your attention, pinging notifications, endless tasks, noisy environments, or even your own mental chatter. These distractions, though seemingly small, chip away at your focus, making it harder to channel your energy into what truly matters. The result? Your progress stalls, and your energy is scattered. To purge distractions is to take a step back and actively create an environment that supports your goals. It's about intentionally eliminating the noise, be it digital, physical, or emotional, that diverts you from your purpose. This isn't about avoiding distractions entirely, but about cultivating a space where focus thrives. By minimizing interruptions, you regain your mental clarity and direct your energy toward meaningful action. Stoicism teaches us that distractions aren't just things to avoid, they are tests of our discipline. Each moment of resistance is an opportunity to strengthen our focus and deepen our commitment to the work that truly matters. When distractions are removed, what remains is your potential, unimpeded. Purging distractions means clearing the path to your most important work, allowing you to move with greater intention, creativity, and effectiveness. Learn from those who've walked the path. True wisdom is built not just through personal experience, but by learning from those who've already traveled the road you're on. Stoicism teaches us that by reflecting on the lives of those who have faced challenges similar to our own, we can avoid common mistakes and adopt proven strategies for success. Seek out mentors, historical figures, or modern role models whose journeys align with your own goals and values. Study their decisions, their mindset, and how they overcame adversity. Learn not just from their successes, but also from their failures. Both can provide invaluable insights. The Stoic approach isn't about blind imitation, but about taking the essence of others' experiences and applying it to your own life. Whether through books, conversations, or observations, use their wisdom to guide your own decisions and actions. In doing so, you'll accelerate your own growth and deepen your understanding of the path ahead. Adjust your expectations. Often, the root of our frustration lies not in the reality of a situation, but in the mismatch between our expectations and what actually unfolds. The Stoic approach teaches us to prepare for different outcomes, good, bad, or indifferent, so that we're not swept away by disappointment when things don't go as planned. By mentally rehearsing possible scenarios, we build resilience and emotional flexibility, learning to remain calm and composed no matter the result. Instead of rigidly clinging to an ideal outcome, focus on what's within your control, the effort you put in, the decisions you make, and how you respond to setbacks. Recognizing that some things are beyond your influence allows you to release the anxiety tied to them, bringing peace of mind. The Stoic mindset is about setting realistic goals, understanding that life's unpredictability is inevitable, and remaining steadfast in your virtue, no matter how things turn out. Build and optimize your systems. In Stoic philosophy, chaos is a given, but so is the power of creating order. By designing effective systems in your life, you channel your energy into what truly matters, rather than being constantly bogged down by decisions and distractions. Whether it's your daily routines, your approach to work, or your personal habits, a well-structured system allows you to align your actions with your deeper values, reducing unnecessary friction and creating space for growth. But systems aren't static, they're ever-evolving, just like you. The Stoic mindset emphasizes constant reflection and adaptation, ensuring that as your life and goals change, your systems grow with you. Optimization isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Regularly assessing and refining your systems helps you stay focused, efficient, and resilient, making your journey not only more productive but more fulfilling as well.